I believe, really, really soon. John Michael.
How we doing?
John, what's up, brother?
John.
How you guys doing today?
Good,
How are
man.
you?
Good. Where are you, brother? You in South Florida somewhere? Where are you? Look at you, living the life.
Can I flip the camera, man? I don't know if I can. I'll just turn the camera around. It's
Oh,
on the beachfront.
wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah. At the Hammock Beach Resort. I don't know if you ever heard of it before. It's over in Palm Coast, Florida, like the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, it's north of Daytona, like 30 minutes. But I live like 10 minutes away from here. I'm kind of in a small beachy town that blew up, but I don't live in like Orlando, one of these big cities around that most of the fighters live at.
I love it, man. I love it. Like I said, man, a massive fan of you. First and foremost, appreciate you coming on the show, John. Like I said, been seeing you do your thing. It was just going to come sooner or later, so I'm pumped to have you on.
I appreciate you having me on and giving me another chance to kind of express myself and let people know who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not one of these, like I kind of tuned in a little earlier, I'm not a loud, arrogant fighter. I try to be humble, and I believe in God and in Jesus Christ. So it keeps me leveled and grounded. So I have a different approach of like how I express myself to the world, but it makes me unique. So I'm not going to be one of those guys coming on here talking bad shit about other people. Like, I keep it down to earth. I train hard and I'm chasing my dreams. I'm still in the middle though, like right in the beginning, kind of, pro debut coming soon, November 8th. So super excited for that. And that's really what I got going on.
I love it, and we'll get into some MMA stuff and questions and fight questions with you and all that stuff. But it's so funny, man. I love this, and I don't know exactly where I'm at with my journey and my dream of one day getting there and all the time. But I hear this all the time. They say it's like, even if you get to this place you want to go, and that's actually one of my questions for you, John, is about maybe the UFC or a different promotion in the future. But wherever your dream is, I hear this all the time from people that have been there or are old enough and they're on the other side of it. It's like the journey to the dream is sometimes better than the dream. Like
figuring it out and being present, living through it. Yeah, correct.
Being an amateur double champ and doing everything of that nature and just keep winning fights, and you're with your circle and your people and like stuff of that nature. What I'm doing, I'm with my best friends all the time talking fights. It's like maybe one day, if wherever I get to, if I'm not doing this, I will miss this. You know what I'm saying? Right. I will miss these days where my internet fails during the show sometimes. But that's life.
Yeah, no, and they say for fighters, especially like the amateur career, is all about learning and putting yourself in the tough challenges and taking short notice fights and just trying to grow as much as you can before you go pro, because when you go pro, you can't go back and your record goes clean. And I feel like all these big promotions, like you're talking about UFC, PFL, they look at your record and they look at your activity. Yeah. And you can have a good record, but if you don't have activity, I feel like you're not a valuable asset for them, because you're almost like a liability at that point. But so when I do go pro, I plan on being very active. I'm taking 2 months, 10 weeks till my pro debut, so I'm gonna have a good camp. I'm healthy, I'm clear-headed, and I'm really excited to venture into the journey of being a pro now, and being a little bit smarter about my fights, but building myself up to be in any of these promotions and put on really high level fights, challenge myself, and ultimately just put a good product out there, because that's what they want, right? They want a good show. They want, somebody who's going to be entertaining and keep exciting fights every time they come in there. And that's the energy I bring. I'm always very, I have a high sense of urgency for showing my skill sets and being aggressive. And that's who I am, man. I can't harp more on the pro debut. I'm super excited for it.
Can't wait. Leah?
Yeah.
Tell us about November 8th. Where are you fighting at? Have you started camp already? Or are you, when does it all get the ball rolling?
Yeah, so I'm starting camp next week, but I just kind of fought 3-4 weeks ago. So I also went and ventured, Chris Mixon, you guys are having him on next. He had an outstanding, performance for PFL. I went up there and supported him. And then I actually have a friend, his name's Marcus Benham. He's an amateur as well. He's 2-0, but he's fighting for the welterweight title on Island of Fights. So I've been helping a bunch of other people, but I stay active every day. I have a scheduled routine life. Like I wake up and do my calisthenics. I do my sauna, my cold plunge, and then during the day I do my like running or swimming or something out in the sun, and then I box at night or I'm at Fusion. So my schedule's always full of training. I'm always in shape. I take care of myself really well. It's like more of a lifestyle for me. I don't like hop out and stop, go out of the gym and let myself kind of like fall back a little bit. I'm trying to just keep the momentum going because that's kind of, how I got here in 2 to 3 years. I just got really active. I fought, I think it was 10 times in like 18 months.
That's awesome.
So it's super active amateur career. And again, I want to keep that up, but it's about staying healthy. And sometimes I'm not always training for my fight, but I'm training, to help other people fight. And I learn that way too, so I don't know. That's kind of how I roll.
I got something, and then Leah, right back to you. I'm sorry. Is there any shot? Are you going to island fights, by the way? Any shot of that, or no? Not a lot of traveling during the next couple months for you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna corner Marcus. He's been coming to my gym and working me here and there.
Let's go.
So I think it'll be a fun experience for me because I other than combat night, I haven't really ventured out in any of the MMA promotions. I feel like they just do really well with promoting me and keeping me active, and like I like the relationship I have with Mitch and Ramsey and Richard Cox and all of them. So I plan on fighting for them. My pro debut Jacksonville, by the way, which is November 8th. But I will probably be at Island Fights.
Well, dude, John, maybe we didn't talk about this. I'm an Island Fights guy. I do the commentary for Island Fights. I will be there in the building. I can't wait. So I can't wait to see you. That's a great fight too. So the person that we had before was literally your opponent's coach, Devin Tiago. So that kid's a stud, man. He's, very, very, aggressive, but, very, very fun, electric, very dynamic type of fighter. So I've been hearing good stuff about your guy too, Venom. So that's going to be a great fight.
He's had a hard time getting a fight. I think he moved from Cali like a year ago, and he's been trying to get an amateur fight. He's been active on the mats. He's in shape. He's hungry. And again, he's another exciting guy with an aggressive style. I don't know if you've seen any of his highlights, but he used to fight in California. But he's very hungry, and he has the same dream as me. So like I feel like I link up to people with that same dream, and as long as they're humble and they train well, because you have to have really good training partners to stay healthy and alive through this journey in his career. He's one of them, so I keep him around, and I think he's gonna have a good performance, so I'm excited for that.
So you said the dream. What is the dream, John? What is the dream?
I don't know. I feel like it was, a lot of people say it's to go to the UFC or, be a world champion or whatever. Like, obviously, I feel like that is the dream, to be a world champion, to be the best fighter in the world. But ultimately, like, I want to make myself so attractive to where people want to come and fight me no matter what organization I'm in. So it's about building that brand and putting on performances and staying active to build, that real fan base, and also just get people that want to come fight me that are attractive and bring, fun styles, good fights on, because I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. That's the fight career. Yeah. So.
Dude, Grant Dawson's showing you some love for sure. This Cody Barnes, I don't know if it's your fight. They're going, give us your prediction of your win as he goes. I think they're saying they're trying to ask you for your prediction of your fight. I would assume that John thinks he's going to get the W. I'm just throwing it out there.
November 8th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I plan on knocking him out.
There you go.
With my hands. I work with John Radford, as you know, Dave, and we're really confident in the hands. And ironically, the gym that we cultivated into, we used to be Pete White Boxing and MMA, but now we're at Move Daytona. Yeah. And it's a CrossFit gym, but also we have our own label, to Move Boxing. And I believe in movement. I believe in, I run a lot. I was a cross country runner my whole life, so I really believe in like the way I train and how unique I am, how I move, how I see things. And I think ultimately I'm going to have a lot of knockouts in my pro career. And I'm excited for that. So one at a time, baby. November 8th is the next one.
Let's go. November 8th, Jacksonville, Florida, for Combat Night MMA. The professional career starts. We kind of talked about that, and Leah threw that out there. And of course, you were lucky enough. I was lucky enough. We go to a lot of the PFL events. They take Fight Bananas. They take a lot of good care of what us and what we are here at Fight Bananas. Do you have a certain? And we're about to talk about it after you leave. Like DBX was this past weekend. Our main man Dean Tools has bare knuckle MMA. They're doing a lot of stuff. Misfit Boxing. Back 5-8 years ago, it was just kind of the UFC and then a little bit of Bellator. now there's the UFC and the PFL is doing their thing, and there's so many other avenues to create money and eyes and all that nature. John, is your absolute destination in 2-3 years from now, is it the UFC going on Dana White Contender Series, getting that first round TKO and getting that contract, or does any of these other things interest you at all?
It's God's plan. So whatever comes to me at first, whoever believes in me and wants to give me an opportunity, that's been my number one get-go since I started. It's just take the opportunities, and as they come to me, I take them, and I thrive in the spotlight. And I put God and Jesus' name before mine, and I give him the glory, no matter victory or whatever happens that night. And that's what you're going to see from me every time my hand's raised. I'm going to glorify Jesus' name, and ultimately try to just be a good influence on the world. And that's my goal. That's my journey here. I'm not doing this for money. I started late. I got into combat sports like maybe 3 years ago, and again, it's just been very active. I didn't grow up wrestling. I wasn't bred on the mats, as they say a lot of these fighters are. So yeah, I've always been an athlete though, and I've been hungry and very ambitious. So just being the best fighter I can be and becoming the best me is what inspires me. And self-growth, just battling myself every day, being in the gym every day, learning still, growing, reaching out to new coaches, new training partners, going traveling and stuff like that. Like, I try to just keep myself growing, and if I do that, I think I will be in the UFC, and I will be one of the best in the world. But that's God's plan, and that's in due time. And I say that a lot too. If you ever look at my Instagram posts, I'm always in due time, because
I love it.
Sometimes, in life we don't always get what we want right when we want it, but if you stay on the path, you can get it. It's all about just not quitting and believing yourself and learning, and that's who I am. That's my motto.
So true. And if I could ask, what were you, like I said, as a married man with multiple kids, I think I could say this. You have definitely you have a great physique, John. All right, let's say as a 41-year-old man, very jealous of your great physique. How were you active beforehand? Were you a different athlete of football or different sports, or just always loved staying in shape? What did you do before you kind of got this combat sports bug?
Yeah, so I ran cross country in high school, but I was ultimately a baseball player. Like, that was the dream. I wanted to be Derek Jeter when I was young, and I played
my favorite, man. My first puppy's name was Jeter, brother. That was it. My first puppy was a Jeter.
Let's go, like-minded people.
Love that.
But no, I wanted to be Jeter. I played baseball my whole upbringing through high school, and it didn't work out. I feel like I ended up in the wrong place with the wrong coach, and it kept me with a chip on my shoulder. So when I met Chris Mixon, he's the one who got me in the gym, and he sparked the candle. So if you guys, I think you talk to him later, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can ask him about that, how he got me into it. But no, he inspires me. I believe in him to the utmost, and I got his back, to the day I die. So I feel like it's inevitable to see me and Chris Mixon on the big stage, in the big fights, with all of it on the line, because we believe in that and we live that life. You don't live this for 10 weeks and then fuck off. Like, if you really want it and you have the dream, you got to live it every single day.
Yeah.
And that's the motto. That's the life.
How great was it to see what he did in Charlotte, North Carolina, man? How cool was that? And we're going to talk to Chris literally in around 45 minutes from now. Like I said, I literally said it off post-fight in the media scrum. I was at his second or third amateur fight in Daytona Beach, Florida, years and years ago. I remember my 8-year-old son was a baby, was literally months old. Now he's in Charlotte, North Carolina, under the second biggest promotion in combat sports. Getting the TKO, first round TKO. Just what a journey. That's so cool to see him do his thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. They actually played the wrong walkout song, which is funny.
I know, wild.
When he walked in, I was like, that's not his song, because me and him are close to each other. I helped him with the weight cut. We've always been around each other for each other's fights. Like, he's cornered me 3 or 4 or 5 times now. So, like I said, we're close. So he had an off night. He even told us after, like, he didn't feel like himself. He started slow. The walkout song was bad. His workout right before the fight wasn't right. He looked good in the shakeout in the morning, but I guess something happened. He just didn't feel comfy backstage. It's all about getting into that free Zen mindset and having fun, like you said. And he was able to channel that as you saw, he got the first round finish, but he
Yeah.
told me like he started slow and it took him a while to really find it and start moving his feet. And I agree with him, but at the same time, I'm proud. Like if you get someone out of there in one round and you don't take damage, like you got to be so thankful and grateful for that. Like we play a really dangerous sport, you know. There's no playing around. Like it's real, you know. Like I said, I played baseball, I played sports in my life, but when I started fighting, I realized like you gotta train and live the life for this now. It's not even playing, like it's your health. So yeah, it's dangerous, you know. But anyways, he's doing really well, and I'm proud of him, and I think he's gonna be in the UFC very soon if the PFL doesn't jump on that. So we'll see. Sky's the limit for that kid. You know,
that's for sure.
He's got all the talent in the world.
And Leah, you go wrong with that. I can ask John 19 questions in a row. I'm sorry.
I'm a little bit of a yapper, but I can listen to it.
I love it.
No, it's great.
I feel like I'm just like front and center.
I was a businessman, so like I used to sit at desk with a lot of big time people where you know money making decisions were on the line. I ran a recycling company with my parents from 14 years old to 24 years old. So like I can walk into any room and talk to anybody. Like that's just kind of who I am.
And that's perfect because you need to be able to speak, especially as you know, everyone thinks that fighters are just fighters. Like you're being interviewed and you've got to build your brand and, you know, make that name for yourself. So being able to talk 100%. Is huge. Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I work on it. You're being a social guy. Got to go out and get sponsorships. You got to, you know, even meet new training partners. Like you're always socializing when you're a fighter. You're on the mats with so many different fighters, so many coaches. And, you know, it's about building a good support system, a good team. And I'm still in the process of doing that because I'm early on in my career, but I tend to meet more people in the future. So if you're interested and you're on the show, like I'd love to train, hit me up. I'm open on Instagram, JM2_MMA. And and then that's it.
I love that.
Yeah.
One thing you said about Mixon towards the end there, and like I love that he's undefeated in the PFL, and we'll talk about it. And maybe it's not, you know, I totally understand. Even for me, right, doing whatever I'm doing, like UFC is the end game, and it's the biggest promotion.
He's in his prime too. I feel like fighting's all about like getting someone in their prime and the right time.
Yeah,
and he's in that prime of his career and his life. His skills are already world level. He's young still. He stays healthy. He's very focused. He's humble. He doesn't have he doesn't have a lot of liabilities. He's all in on this dream, and I really wish the UFC will just give him a call already because he's overdue. Yeah, and he's entertaining as they come. He's exactly what the UFC wants to put in the cage is Chris Mixon.
Yeah, no,
the Cossack, by the way, the Cossack. So PFL, get that right. That's the Cossack right there.
That is the Cossack. Good question here from our guy Scott Hamilton. They go, "Yo, John, when are you going to Thailand for Muay Thai?"
I've been talking about it, man, for years. I'm hoping to go within the next year. I just I want to go over there with somebody because like if you're there for 2-3 weeks, you gotta have somebody to actually pull the reins on me. Because I'm one of those people who work so hard. I'm a horse that I can overtrain myself. You know, I can train with injuries through injuries, and it's about, especially with a fight in 10 weeks, it's about keeping myself healthy. So right now it doesn't really like match up timeline wise, but I'd love to go after this fight. You know, I might take a lull of training between this one and my next one. Because I have things I really want to work on. Like you said, going to Thailand would be one, and just expanding my overall MMA IQ and learning from other people. Like it's inevitable for me. So I'm still young. I'm 27, but at the same time, I'm trying to stay active. So it's like it's a happy balance of that. You know what I mean?
And I know you have a great, looks like working relationship with Combat Night MMA, and they're getting this stuff done for you. Do you have it's a tough sport out there. Do you have a manager outside of that helping you get in fights and sponsorships and stuff of that nature? Or are you kind of right now in control fully of your career and what's happening next?
Yeah, I have a relationship with all the people who want to support me in my life. And like I said, I was a businessman before this, so it kind of makes me unique. I have a different perspective, and I have a lot of knowledge that isn't fight related that suits me well. So I don't think that I need to give it to someone. Eventually, when I make enough to where I could just give it to somebody that I trust and have a good relationship with, I'd love to do that, right? But right now, it's I haven't blown up socially. I feel like I get a lot of views on my stuff and my content is blowing up, but I don't have a lot of a big following yet. So until I have that, it's I don't have a lot of like big time names reaching out to me yet. So, I'm waiting for the first names, but it's I have a relationship with all of them, so I don't have a manager technically.
Yeah.
On
No, I respect that. I think you kind of nailed it, to be brutally honest. I've seen all different relationships and that stuff, and you were right where you're at, a little bit before you and a little bit after you. And it just seemed like, to me, it seems like from afar, and there's different from everyone, right? Sometimes marriage is the greatest thing or the worst thing, and somewhere in between. But it seems like for where you're at, a manager for mixed martial arts is really important 3 years from now, where you're at, like kind of making that big decision, your second UFC contract, getting tied up with, prime energy.
It's got to be the right personality, though. It's got to be the right person, man.
Of course.
I don't link on to people that I feel are going to bring me stress. Like, my goal's all about growth, goals, and peace. And if you try to intervene on that, or I feel like that's not what you offer to my life, I'm not going to have you there.
Right.
And why would I have a manager that takes 15% of 5 and 5, which would be $1,000 plus taxes? Like, I'm not even making money at that point. Like, I have other outlets of money in my life where I don't have to like be so thirsty for $800 or $600. So I want to set myself up right in the long run.
I love it.
So the right person is going to acknowledge who I am when I do what I'm supposed to put on those performances, and it's inevitable for me to get wherever I want to be. Put it that way.
Yeah, I feel like that's smart.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people jump
right in.
Try to
be smart. That's the goal here.
Yeah, I mean,
we meet a lot of personalities in fighting, though. Like, I love the
Yeah.
MMA journey because you meet so many different kind of people, man. But like when I meet somebody who's got like a sharp mind for not just fighting, like really smart fighters, but they have different avenues in their life or skill sets. Like, I really like to I bounce off those people well. I coexist them well because I feel like life isn't all fighting, but at the same time, it's got to be your lifestyle. So it's my preference on the people I surround myself with.
Yeah, I feel like you have a very genuine, like personality. You're not.
Thank you. For
You're
sure.
not beating
And I
people
like
up
Dave's
with-
energy every time I see him. I always go acknowledge and say what's up. I know he's always in the moment and he's doing his thing. Which shout out to you, man. You've grown a lot in the past 3 years. Like, I was with somebody today. He's like, yeah, I remember him. He had 7,000 followers. I'm at 70. Like, you've grown your following and your page up, and I acknowledge people who grow and they put in the work for things and they work hard and then they reap the benefits of it. So I'm happy for you, Dave. You've done a really good job fighting bananas.
Thank you, man. That's very nice of you to say, man. Appreciate that. One last thing, like I think it's just an honest question. And me and Leah joked about it before you came on the show. We were just talking shop about Ferguson and Till. We were just saying, hey, we got to be honest. And we are always on this show. Cossack Mixon, trained a lot here in Daytona Beach and Port Orange. We talked about Pete White boxing, MMA. Our main man, the professor, John Radford, someone I say is a brother to me. He was here in this area, but it looked like he traveled out to Colorado to be like, hey, I got to step it up one little major notch, 5-0 pro, 6-1 pro, somewhere in that nature when he made that big jump. And you said, you've been listening or following Chris spark that dream of yours. Is it something you think you have to do in the future one day, or do you think you'll cross that bridge when you need to? Or when I say you might, what do you think would you have to make that big jump to a gym in the future?
I do train at Fusion XL, which I would say is a pretty profound gym across like all platforms, not even just the regional scene. Like, they have a lot of UFC fighters. We're on a fight win streak right now, so got to give a shout out to Fusion XL for what they have going on there. But I just started training there recently. Like my last 2 fight camps I've been involved with Fusion, and as much as I learn over there, I have to be careful with my exposure because it's kind of a jungle. I'm not gonna lie. So you got to be careful in those gyms where a lot of people are fighting on the mats, and I'm there to train and learn, and I have to have smart training partners. So like, I went to Colorado already and ventured at high altitude for a week. I also, I train with John Radford boxing. I venture in a lot of different gyms, and I think that's what makes me like unique is I get different minds and approaches. I already know that I can fight. I have that dog in me. I've been an amateur fight of the year. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But I've already been in gritty fights where I've had to really figure it out, and that's what I pride myself off of is, every time I'm in there with someone, I just have to figure them out and find their opening. And the last 2 fights have been pretty quick and simple and straightforward to that. But that fight, I got dropped in the first round and had to really find like my striking and my boxing and my movement in there to start evading and playing better defense. And, learning, I like John Radford. You talk to him all the time. He's like a fight computer. Like he downloads you, we find the opening, and then we exploit on it. And that's like my style there, right? Very tactical, sharp, hit with intention, hit with precision, and that's the style we have. So I think that's like it makes me unique in that way, like kind of like a Chris Mixon, where he's just you never know, you can blink and someone's on the ground. It's
that's a great
it's a special
right
style, very exciting too.
That's for sure. Man, so pumped for what's coming up next for you in your career. Leah, anything else for John?
No, I'm good.
Good. Cool. Well, John, man, appreciate your time. You got a beautiful view. Sit down, relax, enjoy the rest of the day.
We'll give you one more.
Man, look at that. Hey, John, to me, it's
golf
September.
Course, beach, we got it all going on.
We're having this little fun debate beforehand. To me, it's September 2nd. It's football season. The kids are in school and everything. It's fall now, right? Like, I don't care about what it says on the calendar. Right now, is it fall or are we still in the summer?
It's summertime.
Man, John's on Team Leah.
It's still, look how beautiful. I mean, we're getting rain here and there. I think it's hurricane season more than anything.
That is true. I
pray we don't get smacked, but I have a feeling that something's coming. There's
true.
Always a storm brewing in some water going in some direction,
Always.
But no, thank you guys for having me on. For
of course,
sure,
brother. Thank you, man. We'll talk soon. Right before your fight in November, let's get you back on the show. All right.
For sure, man. Let's link up soon. I'll see you at All In Fights too.
Yeah, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, brother.
Later, John. Thanks, dude.
See you guys. Bye.
Dude, John Michael Morea making his pro